An FBI mission with a surprising partner, the Archdiocese of Detroit. Together, the two laid to rest nearly 600 crime victims. Joining us with the story is Bob Hojnacki, Director of Cemeteries for Catholic Funeral and Cemetery Services in Detroit. Bob, welcome. Pleasure to have you with us today. Let's get right to it. Can you tell us a little bit more about why the FBI sought the help of the Archdiocese?
Yeah, so the FBI reached out to us. It was the Detroit office, and just glad that they were thinking about wanting to give these the people a proper burial. So they went on the web and searched, and they saw that we had a couple of our mission programs, the All Souls Remembrance program that we do monthly, and Gather Them Home, which we do on All Souls Day, both of which lay to rest cremated remains at no cost to the families. We've done here in Detroit just shy of about 7,000 interments, and nationwide for CFCS, we've done over 20,000.
And Bob, I know the Bureau was hanging on to the cremated remains of nearly 600 victims for quite some time. What can you tell us about these people, and why were they never laid to rest earlier?
So it was a case, and I can't go into a lot of detail, but it was a 10-year case that they needed to take all the way till they were brought to closure. They did reach out to families, and surprisingly, we did, close to almost 600 cremated remains to lay to rest in our cemeteries. But they found families for about 200, and they exhausted all their resources. So then they saw what we had on the web. We spoke with them. They were uncertain if we were going to be able to take that amount on, but our team went to work. We picked up the cremains from them, had them all tagged and labeled correctly, and we were able, just so happened that it correlated into All Souls. It was only a couple weeks before that, so we were able to do the committal service and lay them to rest on All Souls in our cemeteries.
Yeah, and I understand that that also included a special mass or a ceremony. I'm sure that was pretty emotional. Can you tell us more about that?
It was very emotional. We've been doing these programs, these mission programs, for probably about 6 to 7 years right now. And we do a third Friday Mass monthly at our cemeteries that we'll take in through our All Souls Remembrance program, cremains that have been left behind, either at funeral homes, at the morgue. Families have them, and don't know what to do with them. They may be at their house. They didn't even know that they were there when a family member passes, and we'll take them in at no cost and do a proper committal. We probably do 30 to 50 monthly. And then our All Souls Day, we do 3 masses here at our cemeteries. Archbishop leads Mass at Holy Sepulchre. And we had about 400 people that attended the masses this past All Souls Day. And besides the FBI that had close to 600, we had another 200. So we had almost 800 cremains that we laid to rest. And to see, there was a couple things that stood out to me. One, when we laid out all the FBI's cremains around the altar that we had Mass at Our Lady of Hope Cemetery, you just take back and take a breath and think of all those people that are there with us and were being laid to rest. And then to see after the Mass, for families that did attend, we did the committal service and laid them rest in a crypt right after the Mass, and to see the families surround and people crying and just bringing closure to people, it was very, very special.
I'm sure. Before I let you go, we're almost out of time, but as we know, November is the month of All Souls. I'm curious, what is your hope for those souls whose remains now have a home in your cemeteries and also their families?
Well, we're all God's children, and we should be buried on consecrated ground. That's the first thing. And we hope to bring closure to families. Our staff members pray every day for everyone that's laid to rest in our cemeteries. We're here to serve and educate. And, if we can do that, we hope that our hope is to be the best part of someone's worst day. We just want to be able to help and serve people, and that's what our staff does, and I'm just glad to be part of this whole business.
Well, Bob, thank you so much for speaking with us, and thank you for what you do. We appreciate your time today. God bless you.